This week we're heading off Cape Jervis out to Sanders Bank, about 60 k's offshore. There's a really nice reef out there and we're going to do some bottom bends.
I'll put spin on both. See his barb at the back there? See how he's got it sticking? He wants to cut that line off. That's what he's trying to do. Come on then, mate. Cut it off or I'm going to cut you off. Now he's done this to get himself up. Well, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Really thought it was a shark. He wasn't playing like a ray, was he? No.
When that eagle ray came up, I saw a heap of other fish come up with it. So rather than fish off the bottom, I thought I'll just chuck something in without any weight on it, which is what I did. What a great decision!
What did you get it with? What is that?
Maybe a piece of slimy.
Well, that's pretty cool. What did you just throw it out?
Yeah.
On your hook?
Yeah. I've got another hook. There's some hooks on the bottom down.
Like, what's the hook?
It's got tuna hook, like a big piece of mono.
Like a shark hook?
Yeah, but they're smaller than that. They're tuna hooks.
You still on that fish?
He's tired now. I'm getting him up.
Just wait on a second. So you reckon get a slimy?
Yep.
Before this trip, I'd rigged up some 6.0 tuna hooks to about, I don't know, 1.5 meters of 100-pound leader. And this was so if we saw some fish and we got stuck on a school, we could feed that overside and catch tuna that way. And it proved to come in really handy.
They won't be there if you don't put some food in for them.
Hey?
Might have to chuck some more food in for them. I'm on my last colour. There he is.
I'll get the net.
Good sized fish balls. And there are others down here.
I was pretty damn stoked with that. So now I had set a precedence, and now Jules had to catch a kingy as well.
Does it matter?
Oh, you should have thought about that. Maybe you should have changed your follow to the other one.
Will it break off?
Well, it shouldn't do if you can go. You might have to do your drag up a bit tighter though.
This is where you run a real fine line. Do you do the drag up a little bit and hope like hell you don't snap it off? Or do you leave the drag as it is and let the fish run till it spoils you?
I think I've lost him.
Oh no.
Are they down there though?
Yep.
Oh, I've still got him.
Have ya? Or they're just running towards you with the others?
They're pretty good little fighters, aren't they? It's like jumping out the water and everything. Oh, there's your kingfish.
Truly, we've only had this school of fish here with us for like a few minutes, so neither of us want to give up, put our rod in to do some filming or get nets, etc. So it's just a big pandemonium, all for one and one for all. These are really big trevally for South Australia. You know, we get one usually about 12 inches long and we're really happy with it. But these are just little fighters. No wonder they have a game fish status. As I was growing up, trevally was just a bait. Yep, trevally and squid. Caught everything on trevally and squid. Nothing much has changed except everyone now likes to eat trevally and squid as well. There's nothing like some good trevally sashimi.
I'm on skin.
Not quite a kingfish, Jules.
Oh, this is the grunting one. Oh, whoops. Well, you said you wanted some table fish, didn't you?
Now, yesterday was a terrible day on the water.
This makes up for yesterday.
Birds, dolphins, no tuna, no bottom fish, no nothing.
You know what?
Very disappointed.
I need to... Is it?
Oh yeah.
Are you on?
Oh yeah.
I need to get the underwater camera. Don't I?
Yeah.
There's so many of them down here. I think I'm just getting
Oh
stressed.
no, yeah, I've got them. Oh no, I haven't. This is being smart. Oh, maybe it's the further.
I think they're treasures.
No, I think one's a kingfish.
You got a kingfish?
Oh,
I've got another Trevor.
oh, I think I've got a kingfish. See the difference?
Oh, you get the kingfish and I get the Trevor.
This is maniac.
Do you know what? Maybe I should get the side camera onto the water.
Oh yeah.
No one really wanted their rod out of the water. No one really wanted to film. We were having too much
How
fun.
many of these trevallies are you allowed to have?
Oh, I think this is a massive trevally. This is like a GT.
Is it a
I
trevally?
think so, yes.
Bring it back here.
Oh my God.
You're on your own.
Get yours in, Jules. Same. Have you ever seen a trevally that big, Jules?
No. I'm fishing. No? We really should try and get some underwater footage though.
Yeah, you can get in there. I'm Tracy, skipper of Team Just a Girl.
And I'm Jules, crew of Team Just a Girl.
Welcome to the South. I'm Tracy, skipper of Team Just a Girl.
And I'm Jules, crew of Team Just a Girl.
Welcome to the South Australian,
Club Marine SA boating and fishing show.
and what a show! This time, for the very first time, we have a female behind the fishing area, and we have 14 stalls. Can you believe it?
Yes, we've got food, clothing,
Adventure.
reels, rods, all the equipment.
We have got so much adventure happening. Everything's interactive this year, and we can't wait for you to see the Tacoma section. That's going to be awesome.
Yep, and what is the Tacoma?
So the Tacoma is a 70-year-old tuna poling boat. It was actually specifically made for tuna poling, and we're going to do some demonstrations on land with that today. So that's going to be pretty cool.
And also on land, we're going to do a bit of fishing because we've got a fishing simulator.
We do. That's going to be fun.
And we've got the boat on land as well.
We have.
Everything's on land today.
Everything's on land. And we've got the Game Fishing Club of South Australia here. We've got prawns, we've got oysters, we've got fresh crayfish from Port Macdonald. And
Yes.
everyone knows we love Port Macdonald.
We love Port Macdonald. That's where we catch all of our sharks and our tuna and barrels and, well,
Yep.
barrels to come.
And we're going to have shark tasting on stage today. So we're going to give you the secret New Zealand recipe and cook up some shark nuggets for people to try.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of fun. We should go and have a look at the boat.
Let's go and have a look at the boat. Australian.
Boating and fishing show.
And what a show! This time, for the very first time, we have a female behind the fishing area, and we have 14 stalls. Can you believe it?
Yes, we've got food, clothing,
Adventure.
reels, rods, all the equipment.
We have got so much adventure happening. Everything's interactive this year, and we can't wait for you to see the Tacoma section. That's going to be awesome.
Yep, and what is the Tacoma?
So the Tacoma is a 70-year-old tuna poling boat. It was actually specifically made for tuna poling, and we're going to do some demonstrations on land with that today. So that's going to be pretty cool.
And also on land, we're going to do a bit of fishing because we've got a fishing simulator.
We do. That's going to be fun.
And we've got the boat on land as well.
We have.
Everything's on land today.
Everything's on land. And we've got the Game Fishing Club of South Australia here. We've got prawns, we've got oysters, we've got fresh crayfish from Port Macdonald. And
Yes.
everyone knows we love Port Macdonald.
We love Port Macdonald. That's where we catch all of our sharks and our tuna and barrels and, well,
Yep.
barrels to come.
And we're going to have shark tasting on stage today. So we're going to give you the secret New Zealand recipe and cook up some shark nuggets for people to try.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of fun. We should go and have a look at the boat.
Let's go and have a look at the boat. So this here is the Team Just a Girl boat. It's a bar crusher, a 7.3 hard top, and she is 6 years old now. She's got about 2,000 hours on the Yami, and she's just a dream boat. We had this one kind of designed so we had room inside to put our beds and stuff in there because we don't like going home when we go fishing. So we like to make sure we can stay out there in comfort. We have a toilet and a fridge, so it's very, very comfortable in there. So do you want to jump on board and have a look? Got a live bait well in the corner there, so we put live bait in here. So what happens here is you fill it up with water, it's aerated, and we can keep fish alive in there for as long as we keep the aerator running.
Yep. We can keep the deck clean with our little hoses. We've got a deck wash. So this is a salt water cleaner. So all of the salt water comes through this hose so we can clean down the deck, the gunnels, clean off all the fish and guts. I'm in the helm, which is the skipper's seat, and I like to be here these days. I kick the skipper out, and so I like to drive. I'm learning to drive these days, and so we like to you know, look for all the fish. We've got all the gadgets that we need. We've got lights, we've got accessory chargers, so we've got all the bits that we need. We've got fish finder, and the Raymarine is really handy for that.
So the fridge is an Engel fridge. This has been in the boat since we started, and oh, it's full of fish already. And yeah, without the fridge, we wouldn't be able to stay out because stuff only stays on ice for so long. So outriggers out to the side, so we can put more hooks in the water as well, which is pretty handy.
Yep.
And yeah,
Big esky for our catch.
and that also is a second seat because we don't have a seat in the passengers area. The only one who has a seat is the skipper.
Why was that?
That was because it was my seat, but now I'm standing a bit and Jules is sitting in the seat. That's why you want to be skipper.
No, what you meant to say is because it's your boat design, so you can have more crew on board.
Oh yes, more girls on board. More girls on board.
Okay, and there's another part of the boat that you might like to have a look at. So where we sleep and do other things. So let's have a look.
Really?
Oh.
Jules! So seriously, we do have a toilet in the boat. We very rarely use it because whoever uses the toilet has to clean it. Nobody wants to clean the toilet, so we have a bucket that we get replaced every few months because we usually lose it over the side of the boat. Sleeping arrangements are really easy. We have an infill here that closes this gap up as well. We can sleep 3 of us girls across here. The one in the middle usually goes the other way because when we're out at competitions, particularly at Port Lincoln, we don't come in at night. We also have a cover that covers the whole boat at the back, keeps us nice and warm and toasty, particularly in the winter months. It's waterproof, it's windproof, and if we get cold, we light our little stove and that warms the whole cabin area up in about 5 minutes. So it's really quite comfy. We hope you've enjoyed the little tour of the Just a Girl boat. It's not very often on land, it's usually in the water. We've got a show to get organised here, haven't we, Jules?
We certainly do.
Team
Just a Girl out.
If you want to take part in the fishing section of this year's show in October, email Tracy at teamjustagirl.com.au and get your spot booked now.
The oil to heat up. We use a super fry. The reason we use that is because it doesn't all soak into the batter, so it makes it nice, fresh, crisp batter. And we use this biscuit pastry and cake flour to make the actual batter itself because it's a really nice, fresh, light batter. So we just throw a bit of that in.
And there's no real measurements, is there, Jules? It's just like enough. You know how us girls always know when, yeah, that's enough?
Okay.
So you just put soda water in there, Jules?
Yeah, soda water, and it's a cold soda water because it does seem to make the batter a little bit lighter.
Bit more crunchier too?
Bit more crunchier too.
Yeah. So if you have your batter nice and thin, this batter doesn't go really brown either. Test this oil to see if it's, or this dripping, see if it's hot enough. And you always know when it pops straight up in a bubble and you get that little crunchy bubble of batter, it's ready to go. So I'm just going to slightly turn this back a bit because Jules isn't ready. Something new, Jules.
So I'm just...
what are you doing? People can't see you.
Gummy shark here, which we've diced up. And this gummy shark we actually caught ourselves, so it's lovely, nice, fresh gummy shark.
So what you need to do is make sure you put some flour on your shark because that makes the batter hold on to it.
Okay, so we're going to throw some in here. These ones are battered, which is a good thing. Now these, if you cook them for about 3 minutes each side, it takes about 6 minutes, depending on how fat your
These are quite chunky and thick, so that
Yeah.
you can all have a try. If your super fry is not hot enough, it will actually soak it up.
I'm running out of rib.
But if your super fry is nice and hot, when you put your batter in there, it'll just seal it. So you'll find that, you know how when you're cooking with oil, the oil level goes down in the pan? So you're cooking away and you got a full pan of oil and then you only got half a pan of oil. With super fry, that doesn't happen, provided it's hot enough, because all it does is cook it doesn't absorb it.
Make sure that your fish is not damp. So if you can just take most of the moisture off your fish when you're cooking it before you put the batter on.
This batter will work with every fish as well, so not just shark, but it'll work with nanagai, teriki,
Whiting.
All right, who would like to try some? Yay. I can tell you that shark was a huge success. And yes, we will be cooking it again this year. Now, back to the fishing. Yes, we finally did get those cameras out and get them under the water. We could see these fish swimming on the top, but we had no idea there was this many underneath the water surface. See that shiny, shiny bit? That's the one that's hooked. So it's only the fish that hook that shines like that. So I think it must be a warning or a sign or something along those lines. But there are plenty of big trevallies and plenty of kings.
I think I've still got him.
Oh, Jules, I don't think that's a trevally. Does it feel different?
Yeah.
We're at the stage now where we've been putting most of our trevally back because we only need 3 or 4 each. This, I'm hoping for Jules' sake, is a kingfish because she's made it quite clear we're not leaving till she's got one. Oh, you have to come over this side, Jules. If that's a trevally,
It's a monster.
that's a monster. I think it's a kingfish. It's a completely different fight. Oh, we've got some colour. We must be getting tired, Jules.
Please. It's got a yellow tail.
It's a kingfish! Jules, it's a kingfish! Jules, it's a kingfish! Yes, you got a kingfish!
Can you believe it?
That was...
Salmon Valley kingfish.
What was that on?
Tuna.
Tuna.
So that's the small one. I reckon there's a bigger one out there.
Yeah, it was a different fight, hey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Gonna try my new bait. So we had a kingfish each and a fair few trevally for bait and for eating, and it was time to think about heading back. Sanders Bank is a good hour and a half away from Cape Jervis, so we wanted to make sure we also had plenty of time in case we come across some fish on the way home. This was the last fish, and it was time to pack up and start heading in. Well, that was the end of another awesome day on the water. You know, whenever you go out deep, it never fails. When we got home, we found this amazing footage. So at some time during the day, we had this school of tuna coming underneath us. How amazing is that? Next week, we say farewell to a couple of our crew members and we welcome on a couple of new ones. So until then, Just a Girl, out.